Welcome back to Chilling Fireside Stories, where we dive deep into some of the most perplexing and eerie mysteries the world has ever seen. Before we begin, I want to extend my deepest gratitude to all of you who continue to support this channel. Your engagement, your comments, and your likes make this journey of unraveling these chilling stories possible. So if you haven't already, please grab a warm drink, subscribe to the channel, and click the bell icon so you never miss a moment of these haunting tales. Every share and every comment means the world to me. It's because of you that I'm able to keep the fire burning. Tonight, we're diving into one of the most perplexing disappearances in recent history, the case of Asha Degree, a young girl who mysteriously vanished from her home in the dead of night in 2000. Her disappearance still leaves investigators and her family puzzled to this day. What makes her story so haunting is the fact that Asha seemingly left home voluntarily, on a cold, rainy night, only to vanish without a trace. Buckle in for a deeply emotional journey through one of America's most enduring mysteries. Asha Degree's family is a tight-knit, loving unit. She was raised by her parents Harold and Aquila Degree in Shelby, North Carolina, along with her older brother O'Brien. Asha Degree's father, Harold Degree, worked as a furniture upholsterer, while her mother, Aquila Degree, was employed at a local factory. Both parents were hardworking and dedicated to providing a stable and supportive home for their children. They juggled their jobs while also ensuring they were present for Asha and her older brother O'Brien. The Degrees were a devout Christian family, attending church regularly and placing a strong emphasis on family values, education, and discipline, ensuring that their children grew up in a safe environment, without influences like the internet or cable television. It was the night of February 13, 2000, when everything seemed normal in the Degree household in Shelby, North Carolina. Asha Degree, just 9 years old, went to bed after a regular day at school and basketball practice. Her parents, Harold and Aquila Degree, checked on their children before turning in for the night. The house was quiet, the children asleep, and nothing seemed out of the ordinary. But what would unfold over the next few hours was far from ordinary. At some point between 2:30 and 4 a.m., Asha quietly left her bed, gathered a few belongings, including a book bag, some clothes, and her favorite Tweety Bird purse, and snuck out of the house in the middle of a stormy night. It was a cold, rainy night with strong winds, yet Asha ventured out into the darkness, completely unnoticed by anyone. Her father, Harold, briefly woke up at 2:30 a.m. and saw nothing unusual. It wasn't until later that morning, when Asha's mother went to wake her up for school, that they realized something was terribly wrong. Asha was gone, and so were a few of her things. The panic quickly set in, and the Degrees immediately called the police. The weather that night was particularly severe, making Asha's disappearance even more baffling. Investigators later discovered that Asha was seen walking along Highway 18 by two motorists between 3:30 and 4 a.m. Both witnesses reported seeing a small figure walking alone in the rain, and one even turned around, concerned, but Asha ran into the woods before they could reach her. This would be the last confirmed sighting of Asha Degree. When the police arrived at the Degree household that morning, the urgency of the situation was immediately apparent. A 9-year-old child missing in the middle of a stormy night was cause for alarm, and the Shelby community quickly rallied together to search for her. Helicopters, search dogs, and dozens of volunteers combed through the woods, roads, and every possible location where Asha might have gone, but there was no sign of the little girl. The days that followed were filled with growing dread. Asha's parents, devastated and confused, made public pleas for their daughter's return. They couldn't understand why Asha would leave, especially without any apparent cause or conflict at home. Police and family members ruled out the possibility of abuse or any major issues in Asha's life. By all accounts, she was a bright, happy, and well-loved child. Despite exhaustive searches, it wasn't until February 15, 2 days after her disappearance, that the first significant clue emerged. Asha's pencil and some candy wrappers were found in a nearby shed along the highway, confirming that she had been in the area. Investigators believed she may have been seeking shelter from the rain when she entered the shed. However, the discovery raised more questions than answers. Why did Asha leave? Was someone waiting for her? Did she meet someone along the way? As time passed and no further clues surfaced, investigators and the public began to speculate on what might have driven Asha to leave her home that night. One theory that gained traction was that Asha might have been lured away by someone she knew. Perhaps she had been communicating with someone in secret, someone who convinced her to meet them on that fateful night. This theory gained weight after investigators discovered that Asha had taken a few items with her, including her favorite book from school, The Whipping Boy. Some speculated that this could be a sign that she was preparing for a longer trip, possibly with someone she trusted. But this theory had its weaknesses. There was no sign of any suspicious individuals in Asha's life, and no evidence of inappropriate contact with anyone online or in person. Asha Degree was a shy but friendly girl, well liked by her classmates and teachers. Though she kept a close circle, she was known for being responsible and polite. Asha's friends at school described her as someone who was quiet but always kind, excelling academically and being active in sports, particularly basketball, which she loved. To those who knew her, she seemed like a happy, well-adjusted child, making her vanishing all the more mysterious and heartbreaking for everyone involved. The FBI was brought in to assist with the case, and their profiling experts suggested that Asha may have been groomed by someone in secret. However, extensive interviews with Asha's teachers, friends, and neighbors revealed nothing unusual. The lack of any digital evidence or obvious suspects only deepened the mystery. Could it have been someone she encountered briefly, perhaps at a basketball game or while playing outside? No leads seemed to provide a clear answer. A year after Asha disappeared, hope for her return began to fade. Then, in August of 2001, a shocking discovery was made. A construction worker digging along Highway 18, 26 miles from Shelby, unearthed Asha's backpack. It was buried, wrapped in plastic, and inside were some of her personal belongings. The backpack contained several items, including a new Kids on the Block t-shirt and a copy of Dr. Seuss's McElligott's Pool. Investigators were stunned. This discovery shifted the investigation into a more ominous direction. The fact that the backpack had been deliberately buried indicated foul play. It was now clear that Asha's disappearance was not just a runaway case but possibly an abduction. But who had taken her? And why had they hidden her belongings in such a remote location? Forensic analysis of the backpack provided little to no usable evidence. No fingerprints or DNA could be retrieved from the plastic wrapping, and the items inside gave no further clues as to who might have taken Asha. The discovery of the backpack also reignited public interest in the case, leading to renewed media coverage and appeals for any information. Unfortunately, despite the renewed focus, no new leads emerged. After the discovery of Asha Degree's backpack in 2001, investigators knew they were dealing with a more sinister case than they had initially believed. Despite this chilling discovery, the investigation went cold. Leads trickled in, but none were fruitful. Local authorities, the FBI, and even state-level investigators poured through every detail of the case, searching for any link, no matter how small, that could help locate Asha or explain what happened to her that night. Theories continued to swirl. Was Asha abducted by a stranger? Someone who saw her walking in the rain and took advantage of her vulnerable situation? Or had she been coerced into leaving her home by someone she trusted? The lack of evidence left both investigators and the public grappling with these haunting questions. Authorities also explored the possibility that Asha might have met with foul play soon after she left her home. Given the severity of the weather and her age, it seemed unlikely that she could have survived long on her own. Yet the fact that her belongings were found carefully buried nearly 30 miles away suggested that someone else had intervened in her journey, perhaps someone who had been following her movements. As the months turned into years, the Degree family never gave up hope. Harold and Aquila Degree became vocal advocates for missing children, appearing on national television, pleading for anyone with information to come forward. They remained steadfast in their belief that Asha was alive, holding on to every possibility no matter how small. The Degree family's pain was unimaginable. The hope that Asha might one day walk through their front door never wavered, even as the years continued to pass with no new developments. Harold and Aquila Degree became symbols of strength and resilience, and their story touched the hearts of countless people across the country. Their home became a hub of community support, with friends, neighbors and volunteers continuing to aid in searches and keeping Asha's name alive. Every year on February 14th, the Degrees hosted a walk in their daughter's memory, hoping to raise awareness and keep her case in the public eye. They refused to let Asha be forgotten. Aquila Degree, in particular, became an outspoken advocate for child safety and missing persons cases. She regularly spoke at events and campaigns, always emphasizing the need for vigilance and community support. "I'll never stop believing that my daughter is out there," she said in an interview several years after the disappearance. "Until I know otherwise, I'll hold on to that hope." Despite the family's efforts and the continued attention on the case, law enforcement faced an uphill battle. Tips that once poured in became sparse, and promising leads faded without resolution. The FBI even released updated age progression images of what Asha might look like as a teenager and later as an adult. These images reignited media attention but still yielded no conclusive leads. For years, the case languished with no significant progress. But in 2015, the case took an unexpected turn when new information surfaced. A tip led authorities to believe that Asha's disappearance might be linked to a green car. Specifically, a dark green early 1970s Ford Thunderbird or Lincoln Mark IV. Investigators released this information to the public, hoping someone might remember seeing the vehicle on the night Asha disappeared. This breakthrough, while significant, still did not yield an immediate resolution. But it did spark renewed hope in both the Degree family and investigators. The theory that Asha had been abducted by someone in this vehicle added a crucial new element to the case. Was this the car Asha got into after she was last seen walking along the highway? Was it someone she knew? Or was it a stranger who had sinister intentions? The key to Asha Degree's disappearance lies in the witness sightings of her walking alone along Highway 18 on that rainy night. Two motorists independently reported seeing her walking along the desolate stretch of road, sometime between 3:30 and 4 a.m. One driver, concerned by the sight of a small child out alone in the middle of a storm, turned around and attempted to approach her, but Asha quickly darted into the woods before they could reach her. These witness accounts are some of the last known sightings of Asha. Investigators believe she might have been frightened and unsure of where she was going. Whether she planned to meet someone or simply got lost in the rain, her decision to hide in the woods complicated efforts to find her. One of the witnesses described Asha as wearing light clothing, which seemed unusual given the cold, wet weather. It raised further questions about whether she had planned to leave the house or if something more sinister had occurred to compel her to flee. Could someone have been following her? Were they the ones who caused her to panic and run into the woods? These questions continued to haunt investigators. In 2020, the 20th anniversary of Asha's disappearance, the FBI offered a $25,000 reward for any information leading to the resolution of her case. This reward, combined with local contributions, stands as a beacon of hope for those who continue to search for the truth. "We won't stop until we bring Asha home," the FBI reiterated in a statement. "Her family deserves answers and we will not give up." In September 2024, there was a significant development in the ongoing investigation into the disappearance of Asha Degree. The Cleveland County Sheriff's Office, in collaboration with the FBI, executed a search warrant based on new physical evidence that had been uncovered in relation to her case. The specifics of the physical evidence have not been publicly disclosed, but this marked a major step forward in the investigation, as it reignited hope that new leads could bring the long-unsolved mystery closer to resolution. The search warrant was part of renewed efforts by law enforcement to find answers in the nearly 24-year-old case, and it suggests that investigators may have obtained new clues that could potentially identify a suspect or provide insights into what happened to Asha after she disappeared. While the exact nature of the evidence and the results of the search remain confidential as of now, this action demonstrates that the authorities continue to actively pursue the case, hoping to finally bring justice and closure to Asha's family. This development also led to a surge of media interest and public attention. with many hoping that this new phase of the investigation might yield the long-awaited breakthrough in solving Asha Degree's mysterious disappearance. The disappearance of Asha Degree remains a tragic and unsolved mystery. Her case, like so many others, reminds us of the importance of community vigilance and never giving up hope. If you or anyone you know has information, no matter how small, it could be the key to solving this case. Please contact the Shelby Police Department or the FBI. The Degree family has waited long enough for answers. If you're looking for an organization to support in relation to missing children, you can find more information in the description. Thank you for joining me for this deep dive into Asha Degree's disappearance. Remember, your support keeps this channel going. So if you enjoyed this video, please like, share, and subscribe. Every share helps spread awareness about these unsolved mysteries and could potentially bring closure to families like the Degrees. And as always, stay safe, stay curious, and remember, there's always more to the story.